Salve discipuli. So we're going to talk about stage 3, or in lingua latina, caput, which means chapter, trace, ablative. Ablative is going, well, you'll see. I can recognize prepositional phrases in sentences. Very important. I can identify Latin nouns in the ablative. I can recite the ablative endings for each declension. I can read Latin sentences that use ablative. I can create Latin sentences that use ablative. So if we're thinking about mastery of the language, being able to identify and recognize and recite are all level 2, base skills you must have. The reading is considered mastery. Yes. And then creating sentences, that's the bomb diggity. You are a Latin sensei. So let's look at this. Prepositional phrases. Well, first, prepositional phrases have a preposition. A noun is paired with the preposition, and they usually show the location or timing of something. Let's see what prepositions are.
The prepositions. The words which are related to a noun or a pronoun in a sentence are called prepositions. Look at the following examples of prepositions. In, into, on,
I love
at,
beforehand.
of, under,
Watch his little bear
upon, by, since, for, with, about, beyond,
Look, she's going to use Latin, etc.
Example. The bird is sitting on the tree. In the above example, on is showing the preposition that the bird is sitting on the tree.
On is the preposition, rather.
Pat is sitting on the chair.
So pause, what's the preposition? It's on, of course, and the whole phrase is on the chair. We call this noun, and I'm going to use this word a lot, so you're going to want to write it down. The noun that is paired with the preposition is called the object, O-B-J-E-C-T, of the preposition. Let's look at one more example that she's going to give us.
In the above example, on is showing the preposition that Pat is sitting on the chair. Our school closes on Saturday and Sunday. In the above example,
again, it's on. She really likes on. Anyway, those were the prepositions and what they show. There are tons of these guys in both Latin and English, so we'll just learn them as they come to us. Well, what does this have to do with Latin? Well, it has to do with cases. Tenere in memoria, which means literally hold in memory or remember. In Latin, nouns are doing, we know what they're doing in the sentence based on what case they are. So remember, nominative is subjects and accusative is direct objects. And this we already know, and we have endings for each family in both cases. Well, prepositional phrases, we're going to have an option. The object of the preposition, such as when we saw on the chair, that means that the word chair, the object of the preposition, can be either, this is key, accusative or ablative, and that depends on the preposition. So some prepositions use accusative and some use ablative. Exempla, circum conem, says around the dog. Notice that circum uses accusative, so any noun we pair with it will be accusative. But in cane, which says on the dog, in uses ablative. So, ablative. We're going to learn many prepositions use ablative. That's what ablative is used for. It's used for prepositional phrases, meaning that the noun or the object of the preposition with it will be ablative. For now, we only have 2, so these are the 2 you need to memorize, meaning any noun paired with them will have to be ablative. A and X and N use ablative. For AX, any noun paired with it must be in the ablative of its chart. So a huila would be an example. which would mean out of the house or from the house. Ex atrio, which would mean out of. So a Wheeler says out of or from the house. And I just realized you guys have only seen this preposition in the word exeo, which means to go out or exit, right? It's the ex part. And expecto will be a verb that'll come up, which means to watch out or to expect. So we're going to see this preposition all the time. So we're going to go ahead and learn it. And it means out of or from. So add that to your vocab. So a Wheeler would say out of or from the house. Ex atrio then would be out of or from the hallway or the atrium. The difference in the way you choose is that you use a, or just the letter E, when the object of the preposition begins with a consonant. You use X when the object of the preposition begins with a vowel. So notice a Wheeler because V is a consonant, X, EX because atrium, A is a vowel. The last thing you need to learn about ablative is the use of it with the word in. When the object of the preposition is ablative with the word in, the prepositional phrase is translated as either in or on. For example, so guys, in Kane can say in or on the dog because Kane is in the ablative case. But if the object of the preposition is accusative with the word in, the prepositional phrase is then translated as into or onto. Exemplum, in canem, with the accusative, would say into or onto the dog. This is a very important difference that you need to learn for your Latin reading and translating. Well, guys, have a great day. Walete. Just kidding. You have one more thing that you need to know. Of course, there are endings to this. Cartas. So now you're responsible for knowing all of these endings. You need to know the first declension, A, AM, and ablative with the mark, the long A. We call this long mark a macron. You need to know second declension, the nominative, the accusative, and now the ablative. Second neuter, same thing, and third, the same thing. Now, we're really done. Walete, have a great day.